Well, today is the first day that we're actually starting to do a little bit of field work. Now, we haven't been applying manure right along, but right now what we're doing, we have the grain drill. Got Sarah in behind us with the roller. We are heading over to a farm that we rent, and the utility company ended up going across one of the fields, putting in some zinc line or something like that to keep poles from rusting or something. So that's what we're going to be doing. We've got some seedings that we put in last fall that we're going to be going into and touching up. We had some winter kill here and there, not as much as we've seen in the last couple of years. Last year was pretty good. The year before we had a fair amount that we had to reseed, but this year looks real good. We are due to get some rain here about noontime, so we don't have much time to get done with what we want to get done with today. Things were just starting to dry out to get on this drier ground. We do have some wetter ground that we can't quite get on with the grain drill yet, that we have to touch up some seedings on. So we'll be to this field here in a second. We'll get the grain drill unfolded. We've got alfalfa seed in the big seed hoppers that will get poured into the little seeder boxes, and then we will go ahead and do this patchwork. It's not much over here. This is one of the farms that's the furthest away from our farm. This grain drill was parked in a barn 10-11 miles to the east of us. I went and got that last night, and then now we're traveling some 14 miles kind of to the north and to the west of us to patch these seedings in. So we've been on the road a little bit with the grain drill, but this tractor is a good tractor to use because we're going to be putting new tires on it, so at least we're not worrying about having to wear out tires on the tractor. So the sky is starting to turn a little gray, so time is not on our side. Alright, we are on location. All they basically did was just come across this field on an angle about, I don't know, 150 yards long. They got a track hole in behind us where they have one of their access spots or something, and then they just went across this with a little trencher, which is just up in front of us here. Sarah's going to pack this in and we're going to pull on out of here. We've got another farm to go to that's like 6 miles from here. So the trencher is just right up in front of us, and it is doing its thing. So we are done here. I don't run over any of their stakes, but that's their little machine right there. They really only left a trench about 4 inches wide, and the alfalfa probably would have done all right. It would have bounced right back, I think, but we were we had to kind of be in the area anyways. And yeah, we've got a little patch job to do over where the landowner went across one of the fields here. So we'll help Sarah get folded back up, and then we'll go across the road and do what we have to do over there. Get this folded back up. done, we'll pull over to the next field. Well, we're starting to get a few sprinkles on the windshield, which is not good. You guys can't see them, but I got them right here on the side window. And I'm hoping that we can get at least to the next farm so that we can get this thing inside if we get rained out. They're working across there. Well, we're now on the Hudson farm, and there's a few strips across here. I had a little bit to fix on the headland on this far end, and I was on the phone, so I couldn't really show you what it was. It wasn't much. And then I've got a little spot in this one field to do, and then over, well, you guys probably can't see from here. We might as well talk about it when we get there. We got a little sliver piece over on the other side of the road in a field that I just didn't go back and grab with the grain drill. I didn't see it till after it came up, and then it was, of course, too late to do. And I would figure I would just get it this spring. So we've got this field right here where water probably laid here in the fall after it was seeded and it killed out the seeding. Now that might come in later on, but we don't want to take our chances. We want to get this seeded here right now. Now the way alfalfa works, you can reseed it as long as you seed it within 12 months of you seeding it the first time. If you seed it after that, the ground gets too sour and the new plants won't grow. So we can get away with reseeding this because this was only seeded, 9 months or so ago. You cannot go in and reapply seed to an existing alfalfa field. You can do that with grass, but you can't do it with alfalfa. That is a nice stand of alfalfa right there. Real nice. So we'll just get this patched in. Sarah's over here with the roller. We just want to go into this and roll this as well. That way any little stones or whatever that we had kicked up get pushed right back into the ground. Well, here's our skip. I've been looking at this skip. I've seen this skip since last fall. We're finally getting it fixed up now. We've only got one drill down. Looks like we'll probably be able to do a majority of it with just the one drill. And then we're going to go up into this upper field that's alongside the woods. Looks like none of the seeding grew next to the woods, and we're just going to make a pass along it. And then we're going to roll on out of here, get moved towards home. Check the ground towards home that we had seeded. See if it's dry enough to get onto it. It's probably not. And if we have to park this up, we'll park it up and get the corn planters out. Drill down just so we overlap a little bit. We don't want to see any more little skippers in here for the next 4 years. Everything else looks good over here. So now we'll go up into this upper field and we'll just make a pass alongside the woods. And then head on back to town. This had, all this ground over here had injected manure on it. It looks like we'll be able to just use the tear discs over here. Oh, this has got some tracks in it right here. I don't know why this is like that. If it was muddy in here when we seeded this or what, but yeah, it looks like we're gonna have to make 2 passes alongside here. A lot of deer tracks down through the woods. Alright. Yeah, you can go right through that.
Okay.
Alright, so we ended up having to make 3 passes on this upper side of this one field. Sarah's just going to get that little V-shaped piece. And then we're going to roll on out of here. It's just a little thin up on this upper side. Maybe it'll get a little bit of a head start and get growing before the leaves fill in on the trees too much. We always kind of have trouble with this side of the field anyways. It's shaded too much. But we're over here, so we might as well waste the seed. So we'll get to the end of the field, we'll fold up, and then we'll head back to the farm. We'll get back to the farm a little bit sooner than Sarah will. And then I know there's a tree down in this next field I want to do, but I think it might be a little too wet. So we'll go check on that once we get picked up out of here and back to home base. But that little shower that was kind of in the area went through already. The sky is starting to brighten up a little bit, but we're on borrowed time. Yesterday morning when I looked at the forecast, they said we'd have rain by 6 o'clock tonight. And last night when I looked, they said 3, Jared said noon, and now they're saying noon again. So, we're probably not going to be able to do anything more than this. But at least we got this much done because this was the driest ground and it's the furthest away. There's a nice amount of moisture in the ground to be doing this. The grain drill's making a little bit of dirt. The alfalfa seed only needs to be powdered on top. But it is nice to have a little bit of fresh soil for it to sink its feet into. Okay. All right, we're out of here. She's got a couple of passes to make there, and then she'll be heading home with that roller as well. That roller does a nice job. All right. Well, it ended up raining, and the rest of the ground that we have to get on to reseed is a little too wet, and it's a little wetter now that we ended up getting a shower. So we had to clean up some things. We worked on the grain drill for a little bit, got it parked up. Now we're going to get both corn planters out. Got Alex with me. Sarah's taking the 8220 over, and the 8320 is already hooked on the other corn planter. So Alex been hauling manure. Her and Sarah hauled yesterday with that Freightliner, and then Alex hauled alone today. What's your thoughts of the freight shaker?
You know, it's nicer.
It's better? You like it better than the Peterbilt?
Yeah, it's just, it like actually, you know, wants to be driven, I think.
Oh, okay.
You know, like the Peterbilt, you almost get scared, like it's not gonna downshift on its own. But it doesn't really like you to shift it yourself either.
Oh. So it's a win-win then?
Yeah, the paddle shifter is nice too.
Yeah. Well, someday she'll take you guys for a ride in it. But things were kind of hectic when we were getting going yesterday, and I didn't throw a camera in the truck, and I thought I was going to be with them a little later on in the day, and that just didn't happen. So these corn planters only parked 2 miles away from the farm. We'll get them out, and then we've got work to do to both of them. So we'll join up with you once we get in the building where they're at. Alright, so we've got these doors opened on this building, and this is where we have both corn planters parked. We've got a couple of dump wagons in here, and the chopper is in between this one and the one that's in behind it. Now, if you recall, we ended up having a 12-row corn planter, and we had an update kit done to it, and now it's a 16-row. So we'll just make sure this isn't hooked on to the hay head at all. Make sure something didn't go down on itself and get caught. So we'll go ahead and pull this on out of here, and then camera kicked off. I don't know if we got that or not, but Sarah's on her way over with the other tractor, and we'll get hooked onto that one once we get this unit here outside. The chopper moved out. We'll hook onto that other one. Now, this tractor, I was over here this morning to get the controller out of it for the grain drill. There's a little puck here that we use for the, well, it's the field view drive. I had that plugged in, and it was flashing, so I gotta imagine that it probably drained our battery some. So this might not start, but we're gonna try it anyways. It was slow to start. So another little while, probably another couple weeks, and the battery would have probably been dead on this. So we got a 16-foot wide doorway here, and I don't even think it's 16 foot wide. I think it's maybe 14, and corn planter's a tight fit. We don't want to put any scratches in it yet. Get this parked down in the field, and then we'll get this chopper outside as well. Alright, so we've got that one corn planter out. We got to get this thing out. Hopefully it starts. Out, and then we've got a flat tire on the corn planter that we're going to have to put a little wind in before we even attempt to move it. Alright, let this run, we'll back that tractor in, have them guys bring the army truck in. Alright, we've got that hooked. Now we're going to get air going in that, get the air compressor going so we can get some air going into that tire, and then we'll pull on out of here. Alright, you can get them jacks up, I'll get this air compressor going. Alright, there isn't much that you guys can see, but it's a flat tire is a flat tire, so We'll get some air in it, and then we can roll out of here. Maybe you can hold on to that for a minute. I don't know what they're going to be able to see, but... So we've got to move this corn planter ahead a little bit to get this valve stem clocked at a spot that we can get hooked up to it with the air chuck. So she's going to pull ahead real slow like. Go ahead. I don't like the way that rock guard is close to the tire there, but she's got to go just a little farther. Not too close to the truck, is she? Still got to go a little farther forward yet. I think that'll work. We're going to give that a try. The angle that we're at.
Alright, do you want...
Clear these hoses up and then we'll get this out. And then, where are you at?
I don't know, I'm trying to find you.
And then I'll get the chopper back in and get this thing home. So. Alright, so we've got that tire aired up. And we're gonna have to take that off and get it. We're gonna have to fix it. We put tubes in them. At least I think I put tubes in them. Maybe I didn't. Maybe those are tubeless. But we'll go ahead and try figuring out some of these hoses. Do you remember where they all went?
No.
Here, we'll get her hooked up. Okay, so we'll get these back to the farm. Which one are you taking back? Yeah. You don't know? What are you gonna take back, Alex? You don't want to take the corn planter back? No? All right. Well, we did not hook up any of the hoses to the corn planter. It's on the 8220. I want to back that in the shop. Get on dry concrete. Throw all the hoses on the floor and then hook them up. I know where they all go, but I like to have them laying perfectly so that the hoses aren't wrapped up around each other and everything else. So make sure none of them hoses fall off that hitch. Or do you want to take the new one back instead? Want to take the new one back?
Take the old one so if it gets damaged, I don't feel bad.
Alright, so we'll get these back to the farm and we'll join up with you when we get there. They're gonna do a waxing on this as well, and they can get this looking new like they did to the other few tractors. Christian did the 8220. He did the 8120. Those tractors are 20 years old now, and they don't shine too bad. They shine better than they did, but yeah. Alright, we'll get these back there. I'm sure she can get out of that narrow driveway. Alright. I think she made it out of there. I can't see no more. I can see her in the mirror anyway. Alright, so we'll get these back to the farm. We've got various things to do to both of them, and we'll get into that on the next video. With that being said, I want to thank everybody for watching, and we will catch you at the next one. Take it easy, folks.